It's time that we talk about what's going on in the manosphere currently. A very interesting conversation happened between two individuals on the Whatever podcast, Justin Waller and Delilah Rose. Now, Justin Waller is a rising red pill figure in the manosphere space. And if you've seen anything regarding the manosphere or RP content, you've probably seen this guy around. He's a former college Division I football player, and he's now a multimillionaire running his own metal construction business called Red Iron Construction. Now, Lila Rose is a traditional Christian woman, and she's an anti-abortions activist who's founded her own organization called Live Action. To sum up this entire conversation, Lila Rose really shines in this debate. I want you guys to see for yourself.
How do you think you're gonna get to the place of that marriage you want, with that family and that lifelong love that you just
I didn't say I didn't have family or children. I just said I'm running your business.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you want to keep it.
Look at his body language right here, right off the bat. It's almost as if he is intentionally turning his frame and his face away from her as he's talking to her and as he finishes what he has to say. It just seems a little impolite, if you ask me. I don't know why you couldn't be a little bit more engaging with her while you're trying to talk.
That is what you're saying.
That's what I said.
Do you? Justin has
I
enemies.
might have multiple family.
Oh.
You never know. I might like family more than you. So much I have 5.
Do you think that's a good thing to have multiple families?
I think it's good if there's one dad and there's not a bunch of step parents involved, and the dad can be the hero, and those 5 families live a 10x better life than they would have otherwise. Just marry my dude.
But you don't think that...
He was speaking very confidently, and the rest of the panel was like saying facts, or at least some other people in the panel were saying facts. It's like he's relying on his charisma and his confidence when he delivers his message to make people agree with him. But I'm not sure if everyone is really listening to the actual substance of his arguments. But let's continue.
But I guess I'm asking if you're comfortable answering, obviously. But are you wanting to be a role model for your kids? Is that part of your
1,000%. A father should show up in every way for his children. I think I'll be better than most fathers, regardless of how many children I have. I might have 100.
But you think part of being a role model, it's okay for your kids not to know even your relationship status with their own mom?
They will know the relationship
But they're-
status with me and their mother.
But you have other relationships with other women, too.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just
lot,
wondering if you
actually.
think
I haven't
that's a
even
problem.
said that. I'm just saying, like, if I want to, I will.
But you don't think that's a problem for your daughter to know that about their dad? That he has multiple mistresses?
That's up to my daughter, man. You know?
But do you want your daughter to have a guy like that long term?
If he takes care of her in every way and she has a much better life because of it, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Wait, do you want to have 100 kids? Is that like low key?
I'm gonna have a bunch of kids. Yeah, I believe in having kids, man. So there's too many dumb people having kids. Might as well have a smart person have some.
Dude, is Justin low key about to repopulate the world?
Kids are awesome.
Oh no.
Is Justin?
I
Is
don't
Justin
think
about
Genghis
to
Khan, y'all.
single-handedly reverse the declining
They
birth rates?
got all these single women out here talking about it, man. Well, cool. I'll have babies with you. What's up? Now, part of it is being a smart ass right now, right? To be honest, but look, if a guy decides to have a bunch of children, I mean, you see it happen all the time. Guy gets married, he's a father, husband, ends up getting a divorce, and then goes has babies with the next chick, doing the same thing I'm doing, except I'm not a lying coward about it.
I hear you.
So-
Wait, I want y'all to notice. He's trying to justify his actions by saying, at least I'm honest about it. That's not the argument we're trying to make here. We're trying to argue whether his actions or those types of actions are right and help produce a functioning society. Just because you're honest about your cheating and sleeping around with other women doesn't make it right. I just find that very interesting that this is his framework for his entire argument.
I see that. I see
Is
that.
what it is.
But I think the big question is, I mean, it seems like you're really focused on self-improvement, which is awesome. And so I guess my question would be, is it ideal? Like, what are we striving towards individually, right? And what do we think is best for society? And I think kids want to know their parents love each other and are committed till death do they part to each other.
Yep, didn't
And
say
so-
any of that wasn't true.
But
You're the
but
one
do you-
saying that's not true.
Okay, but do you think it would be a little bit confusing for one of your kids if they found out, let's say,
No.
theoretically?
Ryan's
Because if they
just
trust me
awkwardly
enough to
looking
come
at
to
the
me, I'll just
camera
tell them
right
the
now
truth. What are you
as he
talking
drops
about? I'm not
something.
hiding from anything. I just told you.
I understand that.
It
So-
seems like you're challenging because you have a problem with it. I simply don't care.
So your kids, you're saying you don't care if they find out you have multiple mistresses.
If I had
Separate from their
multiple
own
women and then my kids came to me, then I would just talk to them like an adult. If they're adult enough to ask, I'm
If they're
adult
6
enough to
years
tell
old,
them.
though.
Well, whatever they ask, I'm there for it. You know, that's it. Find somebody else. I don't feel bad. I'm gonna live in truth. Here's the difference between me and
Wait.
most men.
He just said, I'm going to live in truth. Did y'all catch that? Is it his truth or what the world objectively thinks is truth? He sounds just like the stereotypical extreme feminists that the RP guys like to criticize all the time. That's very ironic, y'all. It's wild. Oh my gosh.
Most men are doing this shit behind people's back, right? Like a f***ing coward. And they're not even giving the family the life that they deserve. So if I choose to do that in the future, which I have not said I'm going to do, then so be it. But if I don't, I don't.
I hear you. I guess that you're saying you don't want to share your relationship status, but then you just said people are hiding it and being a coward. So I guess
I think there's a
I'm
difference
little
between
confused.
not wanting to share one's relationship status publicly on a platform like this versus
when I have a
with one's
big
family.
internet following and like offices that you can Google and all kinds of things like that. I don't want that smoke for people in my life.
This is the one point that I will give Waller in this exchange. There is a certain boundary that you need to have in order to protect your personal life from the social media and the internet in general. I agree with trying to keep certain aspects of your life private in order to protect yourself. That's definitely understandable. That's maybe the one point I'll give him. But let's see where this conversation goes.
I would say first that having multiple women is not the goal. I don't think that's a good goal for a young man. You know, I think working on yourself completely and absorbing and having a lot of women come to you is a goal. For example, like let's say that you're married and you have a loving relationship. I don't think there's anything in the world wrong with that at all.
But I want that for you and everyone.
Well, too bad. That's not what I want. So that's my business, not yours. But what I'm saying,
Whoa, that was a little curt. That was a little uncalled for from Waller on that one. I mean, I don't think that was necessary to be that abrasive with such a response to Lila. Let's just keep going.
is that if I'm in a situation with a woman and she thinks she wants to leave because I have, let's say, more girls, okay, cool. You can leave me for a man that you love less that will cheat on you anyway if he could. I'm not doing anything any other man would not do if he could. Maybe her husband could and doesn't, but you know, for the sake of the conversation, I think most men, if they could, would have the option of having multiple women. Now,
This is one of his main analogies that he loves to use when he goes onto these podcasts, saying that, oh, men are polygamous by nature, and if there was a button that a man could press to where he could love his wife and still sleep around with a bunch of women, then he would press that button in a heartbeat. I feel like this is a gateway to make guys give in to their own primitive type of instincts. And I don't think that's a productive conversation that we should be having as far as making a good society goes.
it's also been my experience that I can only love one person at a time. And so, that said, there's, you know, I think there's only one spot in my heart as far as, you know, long-term commitment. And when I look at long-term commitment, I look at protecting, providing, being there fully emotionally, a person's best friend. I mean, ride or die, like really there with them, even if they're upset or jealous.
Can I ask you one more question?
Fire away, honey.
Okay. If you have only one place in your heart for one woman, or you want to have one woman in your heart, I think you said, why don't you just commit to one and choose to be faithful to her?
I'm just not wired that way. I spent my whole
There it is. He's just deflecting the question, just saying, I'm just not wired that way. But Lila's not about to let up. It's about to get really good, you guys.
20s trying to fix myself. Thought
You're a
something was
man
wrong
of
with me.
self-control. You work out, you do business.
there it is.
You can possess your own power and
It's just
direct
it's
it.
Exactly. She understands that Waller is a disciplined man. Waller's a multimillionaire. He's in shape. He takes care of himself. You don't get to the position that Waller is in without being disciplined. So why not just apply that discipline to other aspects of your life, such as your relationships and your family life? Let's continue.
But will
It's
you
just
want
not
to
how I
direct it?
am. It's not how I am. I've
You think that
tried.
might be a limited mindset?
Oh, now I want you to notice that Lila not once has attacked Waller directly. She's trying to understand why Waller moves the way he moves and why he operates the way he operates. And you can tell that she doesn't agree with his stance based just off the questions that she's asking and based just off the way that she's carrying herself. But she's trying to understand him better so that she can ask the right questions moving forward in this conversation. And she's able to really shine when she does this. I think it's incredibly classy. Very well done. That was awesome. Let's keep going.
I think it's none of your business, but I don't want you to think I'm triggered by you. I'm not. I saw somebody say it, and I think that's interesting. I think you're annoying, but I'm not triggered. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely getting annoyed. Like, look at his entire demeanor that he has throughout this conversation. He's not wanting to continue this conversation any further.
No, you are. You're annoying in like this goody two shoes type way, and that's fine. I'm gonna live my life on my terms, unapologetically, like truly. So you can ask me this 85 different ways. At the end of the day, I'm gonna walk out of here the same man.
And I'm going to end that clip right there. This was a very interesting conversation, and I think it was a very necessary conversation to have in this online space. I think Lila Rose just killed him with kindness throughout this entire debate. And the beautiful thing about it all is that it came from what these RP guys would consider a high value woman. All these guys on these red pill manosphere spaces talk about what they deem desirable in a woman, such as being modest, fit, feminine, friendly, faithful, just to name a few. And when one of these women comes on to the show, these guys really can't hold their own against them. These guys would likely never be able to date these women, much less marry these women. These women have standards regarding character. And as far as character goes, these guys fall flat. I went to the comment section of this particular episode, and it was very refreshing to see so many people were siding with Lila Rose throughout this whole discussion, and they could see right through this guy. This man is a Chad. Chads and Tyrone, such as this man right here, are instilling some potentially dangerous beliefs regarding relationships and dating practices onto so many young, impressionable men. And I think it's about time that we call out this behavior and tell it like it is. Call a spade and say that this stuff is very toxic. But what did y'all think? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And until next time, put in that mandatory work.